What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Budget Monk 119 video where I'm actually going to be updating you guys on my Brandenburg game because it is the best game ever. And as long as it continues to be the best game ever, I'm actually going to be continuing this as a short series. And yeah, I hope that you guys don't think this is some kind of cop-out or anything like that. I hope that you do like this content because I'm loving this game and I really want to show it off to you. But as you can see here, we're sitting at the timeline. In the timeline, I'm in the year 1500 and I'm trying to continue it from where we previously left off. So just to be clear, one move I make next is going into Poland, and then I actually go into Munster, but without the intention of taking anything. I take his cash, etc. And you can see I talked about this in the previous episode. He basically implodes and then upspawns a lot of nations that don't have any allies or anything of the like, and I freely expand into them. So let's get started here. I'm actually going to go on 2 speed, and anybody who thinks, yeah, this is mundane content, I hope that you change your mind when you see just how far this video is going. So you can see here that Munster is really fractured, and I go in to take Brunswick, what remained of him. I also go in to take Oldenburg, and at this stage I'm exploiting the Deus Vult. Oh, went into the Livonian Order. The reduced aggressive expansion impact from Deus Vult, I'm really trying to manage that, yeah, a coalition. I think I go into England. Yep, right then we go into England. I actually took this entire region, the state, because I wanted to state it up because it has London there. And I actually switch here, having East Friesland. I went after Oldenburg into East Friesland. I have, this estuary, this center of trade, and I actually start collecting in London. And with the help of my light ships, which I have produced, we're actually the #1 contender in London, the English Channel rather, and yeah, bringing a large train of wealth through. But I like doing that because I know it's just going to grow more and more and more. Although it wasn't an objective improvement because my control was so high over Lubeck, it would ultimately be expanding more into Munster. So at this point, I'm doing the coalition technique that I referred to in the first episode where I'm just going ham. At this point, I'm just embracing the coalition and just going ham. But I want to say, guys, unfortunately, because of this dynamic, I went into the British Isles so early. The only reason I ever went in is because the French somehow took Kent. The French somehow took Kent, and then he was expanding. And I could tell that the French were going to win. The French were my ally. They called me in. So I ninja'd London because I didn't want the French to get it. I wanted it myself. That's the only reason this is playing out in this way. I would have otherwise spent the secret expansion elsewhere. But unfortunately, guys, the French started designing my land, and the English were just becoming more and more fodder for the French. He would just unload his troops on this platform. As you can see, big expansion. He's blocking me out a little bit, and at this point, the English became an invalid rival. So naturally, we were still allies, but he allied my ally, Muscovy. So he talk properly, Mike. He rivaled, because the English were invalid, my ally, Muscovy, which gives you the -50 relations. And with the combined desiring my provinces, our alliance actually split because he was below 0 and he desired my provinces. Boom, France was hostile with me. So at that point, that bodes really poorly with the overall tactic, which of course is to surround the empire with strong diplomacy and then expand into the empire specifically, resulting in the coalition being isolated to Germany, whilst nations like Spain are far enough away to they don't coalition you, or at least they don't coalition you until you've already gobbled everything up, right? With that being said, I went in anyway. As you can see, huge chunk of Germany taking it over like it's no big deal. And I've got to admit, guys, #1, I try not to be arrogant and stuff. A lot of people say like I'm humble. I appreciate that. But at this stage, guys, I did want to update you guys. I did want to continue. I did want this game. We have the PU over Bohemia, by the way, which I kind of alluded to in my thumbnail of my first video. I had already gotten it by the time I uploaded that video. If I haven't spoken on that already, the Ottomans did not get access through Hungary, so I attacked him, 1v1'd him, I was doing really well, and then surprise, surprise, the Ottomans came up through Eastern Europe. Now, he's actually got a subject of the Crimea. So he unloaded his troops here, and somebody gave him access, and the Ottomans began to unload onto me. And I was like, oh no, this is awful. But thankfully, Muscovy finished up a war, and I called him into the war. And the Ottomans ended up just walking off into Russia, and eventually I just pieced them out quite easily. Their attrition got really bad, so we pieced them out. I PU'd Bohemia. That has already happened. And yeah. At this point, I was having such a good game, I wanted to commit and continue anyway. So let's move this along. Look at the rapid expansion in Germany, forming Prussia, and just going ham. I'm literally full throttle expanding to the same extent as I can afford with my admin. Expanding, expanding, expanding. Needless to say, the coalitions are forming, and what I'm trying to do is divide the coalition. When it comes up, the truce time comes up, I attack a certain group, the rest join the coalition, etc. Unfortunately, we did have a truce with France because the alliance broke, but that truce comes up. France is now in the coalition, and I did defeat him, as you'll see here soon, shortly, as well as continuing to expand into Germany. I defeated France directly by actually attacking him, because I pulled Austria as an ally, and he's obviously rivaling France. I was able to call Austria in, but not only that, the French were out in these regions. They had split their armies between the England and the mainland, and I built up my navy to be superior. I basically have one fort in London, but we were using the Holy War CB because I do border him directly, so one fort of siege is worth nothing, basically, and I was able to ravage him, and I ended up taking over the British Isles, which is actually it's actually not so satisfying because I feel like I've just expanded into England, and France is still up and running, is very powerful, but I chose to do that because I can't directly, this would be isolated. I don't have pathing into the English Channel here, and I am focusing on the English Channel because it's going to benefit me the most due to having the economic activity. But it's also going to make my expansion into England that much more easy and cruisy, and it's the year 1559, so this is my current year of game, and you've got to admit, guys, I mean, even myself, when I lost France as an ally, I was like, gulp. Because look at that aggressive expansion. Like, I am just going ham. It occurred to me, like, maybe 20 years ago when I was playing this game. It occurred to me that my strategy is just get good diplomacy and just go ham. Just go ham. Like, just ignore the limitations of the game. But it's working. And, like, this is long before I even had the Prussian ideas. Like, I think most players have done this. But, like, 100 years from now, do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. So we have the PU over Bohemia. Look at that Germany. I'm expanding faster with my focus on admin. I've got a 50% reduced cost admin advisor. I'm expanding faster than I can spend my admin points. We just got a technology which gives us some more states. Now, I cannot afford, I'd love to state up these German regions, but I cannot afford to do it. Yeah, I might integrate Bohemia here. I just started, that's why I'm showing you guys now. It is available to be done in 1559. I guess we did it at 1509. We PU'd Bohemia. And yeah, the Bohemia has some nice states, dude, which can be stated up for quote-unquote free, you know, after spending all your diplo of integrating them. But I mean, this one here that's 21, 29, 30 something, 32, 33. That's a lot. That's a big one. That's like 70 or something, and has a lot of influence in Saxony, of course. I'm really enjoying this game, guys. I'm really enjoying it. It's really stressing me out because our aggressive extension is negative 149 with Austria. And as you can see, our relations are at plus 27. If we keep this up, which obviously I plan to do, Austria is going to fall below 0, even with us being maxed relations. And actually, I've done everything I can. I've given them access. Oh, by the way, I am, if we look here, the #1 great power. 1559 as Brandenburg. Austria just became an invalid great power. Actually, Hungary took them over. It was really weird. Hungary became the 8th, then the 7th, and then England popped back up. I don't know how England popped back up. I guess the colonies, of course, are overrated. And Austria was kicked out. So what that means, actually, come to think of it, is I could influence nation. It's very expensive, 537. But quite frankly, I mean, all of the stuff I've been doing, you can see we're not making that much money right now, but we are at 82 overextension. I've got a lot of mercenaries, and of course, all of this stuff has been without any loans, any corruption. So yeah, we're in good shape. It's really cool, and that just occurred to me now, like in real time. I could influence him now that I'm a great power and he's not, and that could maintain this relationship even longer. It would probably be worth it. 500. Obviously, 500 is a lot for me, but we've got a massive, as you can see here, guys, this year is a part of the reason I'm showing it off to you here. Pretty much the whole coalition, with the exception of France's alliance, comes up this year. So what I plan to do is go in and take Munich to keep them, separate. As soon as the truce comes up, I'm going in here against Tuscany, Ravensburg, Switzerland, and Bavaria itself. And of course, we piece out each of them to take their money. So definitely going to be looking out for that. Yeah, we could influence Austria and keep our relations going. Because the other thing is, guys, if our leaders die and we lose our royal marriage, we get -25. And with this amount of aggressive expansion, if you go into negative, boom, it's over. But yeah, I hope that you guys, like I said, I hope you don't feel this is like not substantial content. I am going to make this into a short series as long as this continues to be this epic. And I'm still gunning it for more PUs, guys. Check it out. Prussian dynasty on Hungary. This big Hungary. It's not often that Hungary gets big. You can see he's taken Krakow. He's taken his cultural group in Romania over here. Moldavia. He's expanded into Poland. Expanded into Venice. And he may continue. For surprisingly, actually, Bosnia and Serbia are still up and running. Seems a bit weird, actually. But he may end up expanding into these as well. And yeah, we have the same dynasty. So hopefully, I'm pretty confident I should be able to PU him. We got plenty of time remaining in the game. And yeah, I typically PU Russia. I'm known for PUing Russia. I seem to PU Russia every game I ever play. So obviously, it's a bit cocky, but right now, if his ruler was to die, we'd get a dynasty. I do want to do this live, honestly. I wish I could stream, but as long as you guys continue the support on my channel, it's going to bolster my life in real life, and I'm going to get myself into a position where I have a better internet, and I'm going to be able to do this live. And the reason, by the way, I said I wish I could stream is because it's unlikely that we would get the dynasty onto Russia here. But I feel like if it's not live like my entire series is, then you guys can't see that. I'm not save scumming. I'm not exploiting the game, anything like that. I'm just playing it out. I'm just chilling. Even without having the PU over Bohemia, I think this would still be a good game. But that makes it brilliant, and the potential PU over Hungary just makes it the dream. This is really crazy. Hopefully we can PU even more. The world is mine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and appreciate it. I'll see you next time.